And welcome everybody. This is our Xbox E3 2021 recap, reaction, overview, whatever you want to call it. I am Rawker Dude, also known as Corey, and with me is FufuCuddilyPoof, otherwise known as Kenny. Hello, Kenny.
What is up? Holy crap.
Yes.
That showcase.
Yeah.
How can you, if you're an Xbox fan, how can you not be like hyped right now?
I don't know, but I'm hyped and you're hyped, and that's why we're here. And for those who are just checking out the podcast, because I know, at least for myself, I check out other podcasts, especially around E3 time. We are an achievement-focused podcast. We deliver a panel every week, and we also have a little bit of a variety show after the panel where we talk about what we've been playing, sales, coming real soon games, and community contests and shout-outs. We have a variety segment. It can change week to week, and that's our show. So would love for you to keep checking us out. Achievement Hunting 101 is our name. You can find us at any podcast service near you. But this show YouTube. This show is for E3 2021, the Xbox showcase specifically. We might do another roundup of the rest of E3, but Xbox is our jam, and they just delivered a fantastic showcase today. Fufu, you have seen the whole thing, correct?
I have.
Perfect.
I didn't get to watch it live, unfortunately, but I did go back through and watch it, and oh man, that was good.
Indeed it was. Just as we always do, we do have a Discord. You can check that out in the show notes, but we have a very active community, especially when events take place, and E3 was no exception today. The gaming news channel, where all the hot news and leaks come out, and where we kind of do our live chat. We don't really hang out in Twitch chat, because who would do that? We have our own chat, and it was popping. So it was good things all around, and the criticisms where criticisms were due. But I think that's enough chitter chatter. We need to dive into this. This was a 90-minute showcase, and it was pretty packed with games. And almost every game that we mentioned today will be coming to Game Pass. I believe 27 out of 30 shown games are coming to Game Pass. And Fufu and I, Kenny, we were just talking about which ones aren't coming, because you almost have to dig for those to figure that out. And we think,
pretty much,
we think that is going to be Battlefield, obviously, EA game. Far Cry 6 was a feature there, so that's a Ubisoft game. And the last one, remind me, Kenny, what did we just say?
Frick, what did we just say?
There were so many games. Diablo. We think that Diablo is
the Blizzard game.
Is not on Game Pass day one. Blizzard being as it is, but that is that. So let's start off.
That's how good Game Pass is. We have to try to remember which ones aren't coming.
Right, and they showed us stuff guaranteed today in June and July and August, September. We have stuff in October and December that we know, and other stuff is kind of in the fall or the 2021 kind of range. Actually, I see a November release date here too. So every month we're going to be getting some games, and at least half of these are first party. So
the 23 game studios are starting to rock.
That's right. Yeah, the rest of this year is going to be really good for games. So right before the showcase, there was a small leak, and it happened to be about Starfield. And what do you know? That's exactly what they opened the show with. They showed an in-game teaser at Starfield. We finally have a date. We know that it's exclusive.
Gosh, I'm so excited.
Xbox and Windows. It's coming November 11th, 2022. One of the games that's coming out later, but we have a date, and it will be here at the second part of the last half of next year. So, Kenny, are you hyped about Starfield? We don't know much about it yet. Still,
am I hyped about Starfield? So, if you're listening to the podcast for any time now, You know I'm an Elder Scrolls fan. You know I'm a big Bethesda fan. As soon as I saw Starfield, my mind immediately went to Skyrim in space. How does that not sound good to you? Like, if you like RPGs, if you like Bethesda RPGs, that just sounds amazing. And all we got before was just a title. We didn't actually get any gameplay. We didn't get any kind of news about it. So our minds just kind of went every which way of what could this possibly be. And even with what we saw now, it was just a teaser. Like, we didn't see gameplay. We don't really know it much, but like, hey, yeah, it's definitely in space. It's definitely Bethesda, and I'm still excited for it.
Right. We basically know that it's a role-playing game, and we know that it's the first new universe, as Bethesda has said it, in 25 years. Like, they've lived in the Fallout world. They've lived in Elder Scrolls. This is completely new. So that part is exciting to me.
That's very exciting. And not only is it new, but it's a new experience being built on next/current gen hardware. Like, it's being made for the Series X. It's being made for the PlayStation 5. Wait, no. It's not being made for the PlayStation 5. This is an Xbox exclusive.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like the console wars, but I do. Suck it, Sony. You're not getting Starfield.
Yeah, there was a lot of people salty in the comments about Starfield being exclusive. I don't know what you were expecting, people in the comments, but it will be on an Xbox Series console of your choice or PC, which, I'm fine with. I don't really care. But yeah, it is truly being made for next gen as it appears. So they're either in-game cinematics that they showed looked really good. I'm ready to know what kind of game it is other than an RPG. So, hopefully we'll find that out next E3 and, it won't be delayed. So Starfield coming next November. They then moved on to Stalker 2, something that they showed in their previous event, about a month ago or so. This is just for me, a generic first-person shooter, post-apocalyptic, game. I don't have much to say about it. I was in the chat, like somebody was like, "Oh, it looks like Metro," and then Fug, I think, said, "Oh, it was here before Metro," so it's kind of that same deal. But anything on Stalker 2?
Not really. Like, it just looks like a first-person shooter, post-apocalyptic. Like, I like both those things.
Yeah.
And I know Stalker, like, it kind of had like a cult following, and when this was originally showed, like, there was a lot of people that are super hyped. Like, it does nothing for me.
Right.
I'm glad other people are excited, but for me, it's just another shooter.
Yeah, just another first-person shooter. It looks like it has some horror aspects into it.
There was a couple of things. Like, there was like a monster. It's just like, oh wow, that's scary looking.
Yeah. So if that's your jam, then Stalker 2 is coming, and it's coming to Game Pass April 28th, 2022. So another one that's in 2022. But we're about to get into stuff that's this year. So this year, in fact, that we have a Day 1 Game Pass day of October 12th. The next game they showed was Back 4 Blood. And this one, I know you feel the same way I do. Cannot wait to play. This will be a Day 1 for sure.
Happy early birthday to me. I'm taking off the 12th. I am playing this Day 1. I'm taking off of work. I am beyond excited for this. I'm a massive Left 4 Dead fan, and as soon as I saw this originally, I got so excited. And just the fact that this is coming to Game Pass Day 1 is incredible. That it's just, I saved $60. Like, I don't have to buy it now.
Exactly. Yeah. We kind of had a feeling it was going to come to Game Pass, but we got that confirmation today. It is happening. It's kind of surprising to me. It's a Warner Brothers game. The people who made Left 4 Dead are making this game. So I'm excited for it. 4-player co-op campaign. So it's exactly what you would think. They have the standard. I'll say standard because Left 4 Dead kind of had it, but they have the 4-player PvP. They also have this swarm mode. So I'm not sure what that's about, but yeah, it looks great. I can't wait to play it. No questions asked on that. I'm going to try to get my Friday night group to play it. And if they don't want to, I will find 3 other people because I will be playing this game 100%.
Oh, 100%. It looks so good.
Yeah.
It's just that is one of these games that as soon as I saw that's coming to Game Pass, my mind was really just blown. Like, that's such a big get. That is a huge get for Game Pass. And it's not an exclusive. It's to Xbox or anything. It's just that's just a great get.
100%. 100%. Now, they moved on from this non-exclusive game to this exclusive game. And this one happens to be a rare one that we didn't get a date on at all, as long as I don't recall. And this game is called Contraband. Now, this is a completely new IP. It is first-party Xbox. And we didn't get any kind of gameplay or really even a tease.
We don't know anything.
They kind of just panned around a room that ultimately ended in a box that was open that had the name of the game, so Contraband. And looking it up, they told us in this little teaser that it is co-op, it is open world, and looking it up, it was it's being developed by Avalanche Studios, and that is the developer behind Just Cause, and the engine that they're using is the Apex engine, which is the engine of Just Cause. And if you've never played those games, they are huge worlds, big explosions. So I've only played one of those games. They kind of get a little repetitive, but I am interested in the co-op part of this. If it's kind of like Just Cause co-op, then I think that could be fun.
So this one was kind of like Starfield, where we just got like a cinematic trailer. We just kind of we just didn't get anything. It was literally just an announcement, and my mind just kind of went to town on what this could be. When I think about this, I think of an old was it 360? Yeah, an older 360 game, Mercenaries. Actually, OG Xbox, and then Mercenaries 2 is 360. Have you ever played that?
I have not.
It's kind of like a Just Cause, where it's a open world. You can blow everything up. There's buildings. You can set off nukes, level buildings, shoot rockets, kill the cops. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but you're a mercenary, almost, sort of. And when I see the name Contraband, it just immediately took me to that spot. It's just like, okay, this could be cool.
Right.
But we have no idea.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely, like, when I first saw it, I thought Indiana Jones, but we didn't see that. And
yeah,
it's kind of like as an overall of this showcase that they did. They didn't give us a lot of stuff that is not coming out. This one aside, obviously, because we didn't have a date for it, and we have seen nothing of the game. So I don't know if this one was a little early. Maybe they just want to share that they've kind of got Avalanche Studios, like they have their wallets and they're making a game for Xbox kind of deal. But otherwise, we didn't really hear about, spoiler alert, we didn't hear about Fable or really anything that's not being worked on a ton, which I like. Avowed, yeah, that was a big one people didn't see. But I can appreciate that, because I don't need to know stuff that's 2-3 years away. End of next year, that's fine, I guess. But I want the stuff coming sooner rather than later. So
I completely agree.
Yeah, this one's coming. Contraband is coming at some point. Whenever that is, it will be day one Game Pass.
Crazy.
All right. The next thing on their list was one that actually surprised me, because it's kind of an expansion.
This one, dude.
It's Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life, and they opened it up, and you instantly knew it was Sea of Thieves. You saw the Rare logo, and you just know the Sea of Thieves art and the style.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty.
Then all of a sudden, you see Captain Jack Sparrow, and you're like, what? And instantly,
I got so excited.
Like, okay, don't hate me. I've never seen any of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Never seen them.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. And even knowing that, I was still, like, as the trailer went on longer and longer, I started to realize this is this is going to be a story or a campaign. They're not showcasing PvP, which is what Sea of Thieves is known for. So
right.
I've played a little bit of Sea of Thieves. I actually don't like the PvP part, but a campaign version of that game interests me a lot. And if we can bring in our crew of four, at least four, that would make it even better. So hopefully you can. But yeah, I'm down to try Sea of Thieves Pirates of the Caribbean version.
Okay, I'm just going to put aside the fact that you've never watched Pirates. That's insane. But yeah, I love the Pirates movies. Even the last two, which were very meh at best, I still love. But like, as soon as I saw Jack Sparrow, like, I about jumped out of my seat. I'm like, that's just such a perfect ad. And it was also kind of interesting because the Disney logo flashed on the screen, and as soon as that flashed, I went, oh, Xbox has been playing nice with Disney lately, where there's been a couple of months where with Game Pass, you can get Disney Plus for a month for free. So it's like, there's some sort of a relationship there just that's growing. Like, that's cool. I like this. What else can we get from this little partnership?
Yeah, no, good catch. So this, the better part about this is that this is bundled into what will be known as the Season 3 update for Sea of Thieves. So I don't pay attention to Sea of Thieves that much. So apparently they're starting Season 3, and this will be a part of that, and it's going to span across 5 narrative-driven tall tales. So I don't think that all 5 will be available at launch. It will probably be over the course of some time, but that will begin June 22nd. So we are just like,
wow,
9 days away from at least getting that first, that first episode or whatever they're calling it. Very close.
One last thing. This is not going to mean anything to you since you haven't watched the movies, but if you have watched the movies, Davy Jones is in this. And when I saw Davy Jones pop out, I just thought, that's so cool. Because, like, you have the Megalodon random encounters, you have the Kraken random encounters. Well, now you might have a random Davy Jones encounter, and you have to fight him off. And it's just the idea of you being able to possibly have the Black Pearl, and all of a sudden the Flying Dutchman pops up. Like, oh, man, that's... I got to play Sea of Thieves again. I've been wanting to play, but now that I see this, like, I got to jump back in. I got to get a crew.
It can be fun, I will say that. So
it's so much fun.
They do have their grips in me of wanting to try it. So kudos to them for that. Next up was not a new game, but it's a new game on Game Pass, and it's a big one. Yakuza Like a Dragon is available on Game Pass, and they did one of those today moments. And if you are around the Discord, you've seen me talk about it before, and a couple of others. Yakuza is kind of a big Japanese series that has come over, and over the past 2 years or so, they've started to put these Yakuza games into Game Pass, and so it's not really like a small deal. That's pretty big. And Yakuza,
they're big games.
Like a Dragon was not in there, and it came out last year, and it got very, very high praise. A lot of people really like this game. It is in the Yakuza series, but it's not a part of the ongoing Yakuza base game. So this is actually a completely new storyline. So it's perfect for people to jump in. This is not a Corey game, but I have been waiting to play this because I figured it would come to Game Pass, and I've already played it today. And let me tell you,
really,
I haven't really seen a lot of it. Just from the trailers, though, you can tell it's a crazy game. A lot of crazy stuff will happen.
That looks bonkers.
But from TA's point of view, True Achievement, it's an 80 to 100 hour completion. So it's not my cup of tea, right? Furthermore, it's probably only that because of the cutscenes, because it doesn't seem to be like a totally hard game, but there's a ton of cutscenes. I probably spent an hour and a half to 2 hours. I've only dived the game because I just completed chapter 1, and most of that was not gameplay. It was a freaking cutscene. So I've like watched the Yakuza movie so far, and I have not skipped. I did not skip.
Good boy.
And
that's how you do it.
And half of the cutscenes have a skip button in the bottom corner. I could see it. So like they're taunting me with it. And I said, nope, I will do it, and I will do it right. So I'm like 2 hours deep into this game. It's a fun game. I like the gameplay aspect. So I'm looking forward to playing that more. But yeah, it's going to be a long journey. I can already tell.
I know a lot of people are real hyped on these games. This is another one that I've never played. And honestly, up until they added it to Game Pass, I really didn't even know about them. Like, I heard of Yakuza, but I really didn't know anything about them. And it's like this massive game series. And yeah, I've just never played them. Although I have heard on like other podcasts that, yeah, like a big part of the game is there's a lot of cutscenes in them.
Right.
So like
yeah.
if you like that kind of stuff, if you like narrative, like it's perfect for you. But it's the kind of thing where you can turn the game on while you're playing. You can turn the game on and play while you're having dinner, and by the time you're finished eating, it's time to pick up the controller.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, my experience only comes from other podcasts, and I only know that they're very, very long games. So I'm curious to try them out. It seems like a good jumping in point. And we'll see if I stick with it. But I'm not hating it right now. So
I would be shocked if you stick with this series.
You know,
I can see you finishing this game.
I
will be shocked if you finish all of them.
These are
not core games.
I will definitely not play more than this unless like this part of the series continues, like a Dragon, and I can get them for free. But this one, we'll see how it goes. Moving on to what most people are probably hyped about, like, you know, most bro gamers, I like to call them, is Battlefield 2042.
Perfect description.
That is coming out October 22nd. We kind of got a Battlefield mini event the other week. So they showed some pre-alpha footage. To be honest, I wasn't that impressed, but I'm sure a lot of people are hyped for this game. I think that they showed a bit, like they're known for big battles. I think they showed a 124 to 128 person battle, which is pretty crazy. But
that's bonkers.
At the same time,
that's a battlefield.
At the same time, I'm kind of like, eh. I mean, Fortnite does 100. What's 28 more players? You know.
I mean, it's kind of different than Fortnite because all those players are going to stay in the game.
I've always liked Battlefield for its collapsible buildings and the environment, which I'm sure is still there, but at this point in my gaming life, I'm a little bit past these types of games. Like they're just the same stuff to me. So sorry if you're a Battlefield fan.
Yeah, they don't do anything for me anymore. I love watching like game footage and Twitch or whatever on Battlefield, Call of Duty, but like as far as me playing, it's
Bring back Bad Company. You know, give me a Bad Company 3. I'm all in. Otherwise, I got so much other stuff to play. I got a Yakuza game that's going to take me 80 hours, so I don't got time for Battlefield. What I do have time for is 12 minutes. This is the Annapurna game that has been teased since at least last E3, maybe before.
This was teased E3 2019.
So, yeah, even 2 years ago. But it's finally coming out, and not only is it coming out on August 19th of this year, it will be the Game Pass. Now, that was a big reveal. I know a lot of people have been excited about the game and probably would have bought it, and so the Game Pass is just the cherry on top for this game. It's the game that loops 12 minutes, you know, over and over, and the last thing I saw of the game, there was like a good chunk of hours worth of content, so I'm very interested in seeing what they're calling a real-time interactive thriller, where you continuously use what you've learned to change the outcome of this 12-minute loop. But we will know very shortly in about 2 months.
Yeah, this is one of those games where, on its face, this is not a Kenny game. Like, there's no way I would really ever gravitate to something like this. It's just not my cup of tea. But the more I see about it, and after whatever that last event, which I cannot think of what it is, where it did like the indie game showcase, and listening to the developer talk about how there's 86 loops that you have to do before you get like the true ending on this, and just the fact that it's 12 minutes. I'm so interested in this.
The thing that
he's got the nonstop press and people talking about it's like, I have got to try this thing.
Yeah, the thing that scares me the most, and scares a harsh word, is just that, like, I like to bounce around in my games. I don't stick with one, and that's the only one I play usually. I think this one's going to be one that you need to play and not give up on it immediately, or else you're going to kind of be lost. You need to remember what you've learned in these loops, so it's going to be stick with it until you.
I didn't think of that
kind of deal.
That's interesting, because in my mind, I'm like, this will probably be like one of those things where I'll do 2 or 3 loops like every time I sit down, just kind of like as a little relaxing thing. But now that you put it like that, it's like, yeah, maybe this is the kind of thing you don't want to stretch over a couple of months.
Well, I mean, you know, a couple a day or something might be okay. I can like drop a platformer and not touch it for. Heck, I just picked up a game I haven't touched in 2 years. I definitely couldn't do that with this game. Crap. So, yeah.
Right.
That's just what my mind goes to at first. I think it'll be okay, you know. I think it'll be hyped enough where I will try to do my darndest to keep my interest up and be part of that conversation.
Yeah, and like, it was one of those games where it's like, I might buy it, I might not. Like, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but like being Game Pass, it's like, well, yeah, now I'm definitely going. I definitely want to play it now. Like, why not? It's free-ish.
Exactly. The next thing on the list is a favorite of mine, and it is Psychonauts 2. Now, this one that they have kept, like they as in Double Fine, have kept saying, it's coming this year, it's coming this year. And now we know that it's coming to Game Pass day one, August 25th. And you can already pre-install the game if you have Game Pass. And
interesting.
They put a trailer out there, and you know what? It looks like Psychonauts. And I saw some comments, just kind of like, you know, not dogging on the looks, but mentioning the looks at least. And this game is not really one that is supposed to showcase the looks. I think that Psychonauts had its little cult following, and if you played it, I think you liked it. And if you looked at it and thought it looked weird and just pushed it aside, then Psychonauts 2 is not for you. You know, this is for the people who liked the first game, who like 3D platformers, and I couldn't be more stoked to play it. Really glad it's coming out in a couple months.
See, and this is one of the things where it does nothing for me. I never played the original, and I knew watching this, I knew you were smiling ear to ear. I know you're super excited for this. You played the original. I never played the original, so I look at it, it's like, it's a pretty game. Like, lots of colors.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
Yeah, the style is unique. You just have to experience it. When I played it on the original Xbox, it looked great. I can't say that it looks like a ton different. Like, it looks crisper, but that's also part of my personality.
Not a bad thing.
I don't need hyper realistic graphics, although they're nice.
Exactly.
I don't need them in my games 100% of the time. So,
not every game needs to be photorealistic. There's so many art styles out there. Not everything needs to look like the newest Call of Duty or whatever.
Exactly.
Having a cartoony art style is good, and I will admit, Psychonauts nails that art style they're going for, and it looks pretty. I like the way it looks. I just never played it.
Yep. So if it interests you, I'd say just look up a YouTube video. Maybe you can find the cutscenes or something out there. I don't know. I'm sure somebody has tidied it up where you can get that story. But you can find me August 25th playing Psychonauts 2 100%. So moving on to the showcase, Bethesda took the stage again It was very mixed in the Xbox Bethesda thing. It was branded that way, and
I love it so
the
much.
show definitely felt that way. So this time, we didn't get any new games per se, but we got a big announcement for Game Pass.
It's a big drop.
Yeah, they added 10 iconic, in their words, Bethesda games to Game Pass today. And this is like across Windows and console and cloud. And so I'll just kind of rattle them off here. One is called Dishonored. That is Corey recommended, by the way. Doom. That's the 2016 version, I believe.
Yeah, 2016.
Evil Within 2, Rage, Wolfenstein 2. And then they have the big ones.
I'm excited for these.
Fallout, the first one, Fallout 2, Fallout 3, and one that I didn't know existed, Fallout Tactics. Now,
I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, now Fallout 2, Fallout 3, those look to be PC only, and I'm pretty sure it is confirmed they don't have achievements, but you can still play them if that interests you. There is another one called Ars. I can't even read that. Fatal.
I am so glad I'm not the only one that can't read that. Ask Fatals?
Yeah, like they didn't.
Ash Fatals?
I don't think it's that first, whatever you said first, but at least they didn't like say the name, and the image I have is kind of small. But there's another iconic.
Maybe it's Arc Fatalis?
Maybe.
Somebody's yelling at us right now.
Yeah, well, that's coming to Game Pass, and it's actually already there, so we'll be diving into that. After they talked about Game Pass, they talked about new expansions for Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online, both games that I have only dived. Elder Scrolls, I picked it up with a friend. It's not for me, but if it is, then there's a console enhanced edition, I guess. That's coming out on June 15th, so just like a day or so away, and it will be free for the base game updates for all of those owners. And so they're also optimizing it for 4K, 60 frames per second. So on the series consoles, so that will be good. And then Fallout 76 is one that I kind of want to get into, but they're adding a Still Rain update. There will be a free week if you haven't played it with sales and stuff. And then they have a new expansion called Expeditions: The Pit. So
that probably means something to people that play 76 or big Fallout fans. I'm not one of them. As soon as I saw the pit, I'm like, that means something. I know it does, but to me, it's just.
I'm almost positive that Fallout 2 occurs in Pittsburgh, and this is having you visit Pittsburgh into the pit.
Ah, okay.
So I think it's a Fallout 2 reference, but yeah, if that's your
I will say
deal, there it is.
I will say right about now, I believe it was, they started talking about the 10 years of Skyrim, and I got real excited. I started leaning forward because I'm like, are we getting another stack of Skyrim? Is there going to be another one? Is there going to be a Series X and S release? Because it's a 10-year anniversary, and then they just kind of skip past it. It's just like, oh, come on, man. Give me. I would love to complete the Skyrim again. I've already got 2 of the completions. If they release it on the series consoles, I'll buy it again. I'll complete it again. I love Skyrim.
Yep.
But I would much rather have an Oblivion remaster.
My Skyrim knowledge comes from console commands, so sorry for those of you who are near and dear to that franchise. And then lastly, before they left the stage, they talked about Doom Eternal, and gets a free next-gen update for the series consoles, which can go up to 120 frames per second. And I know Doom's fast, and that probably makes it super great. And that's coming June 29th, so that's very, very close.
Have you seen Doom at like 120 4K?
Can't say that I have, but it's probably amazing.
Wow. That game is flipping unbelievable at 4K 120. Like, just because it's such a fast action-paced game, the higher the frame rate, the better for that game. It looks so good when you get like a high quality PC being able to play that.
Yeah, it's one that I've I don't know why I haven't really played it, but it's always been like near me where I could, but
Same.
I don't know. Maybe one day. Probably not, though. In other news, Party Animals was revealed, coming to consoles. Well, at least Xbox. I don't know if it said console exclusive or anything like that, but I do know that they said Game Pass. Now, if you don't know what Party Animals is, it is a game that's on PC currently in early access or beta form, and it's coming out in 2022. So next year we will have it on consoles. And let me tell you this. It may not look like your cup of tea, but it is a fun party game. They call it a competitive brawler, but you are an adorable animal of some sort. If you have seen a human fall flat, it's kind of like that if you were an animal. Or if you played Gang Beasts, it's kind of like that as far as like how you control the thing. But you take like that kind of movement, throw in, I don't know, like Fusion Frenzy style mini competitive games. Maybe like not so many mini games, but from what we could tell, like you're trying to knock people off of a ship. Even one person
I kind of thought
another
like
one in a
Human Fall
incinerator.
Flat meets Fall Guys. Sorry.
I don't think so. It's a very small thing. It's not like a battle royale deal, and I don't think there's racing. But I could be completely wrong. There is multiple game modes. I don't think we saw all of them. But they just want you to be the last one standing. But it's going to be a great time. I already know that this will be a game that we stream before one of our live shows that we do every month.
Oh, totally.
So
it looks like dumb fun.
Look forward to that for sure. Now,
and it's a console launch exclusive, so I don't know if that means like it's a timed exclusive for the console or what. That's what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, Xbox will be getting it first and for quote unquote free with Game Pass.
Yep.
Also coming to Game Pass, one that I have been hoping would come to our system of choice that I would even pay money for, but now I don't have to, and that is Hades. Do you have any idea what Hades is?
I do. I've listened to a lot of people talk about it. I'm very much excited for this. This sounds awesome, and I knew you jumped out of your seat when you heard this. You and Nate.
Right. So about a month or two ago when they did that ID at Xbox thing that you mentioned, there was like a leak of a Hades box art, and people kind of did their little PR talkbacks where they were like, sorry, that was a mess up. That's not really happening. And we did not see it at that event. And we're kind of sad, because Hades is something that a couple of us have been wanting because it just is so good. It's on PC. It's on Switch. I don't know if it's on PlayStation right now, but it looks like it's coming.
As far as I know, it's just Switch.
But it's a roguelike dungeon crawler. So if I lost you there, sorry. Otherwise, it is very good. It has the the Greek background of like Zeus and Olympus type theme to it. Obviously with Hades being what is it, the god of the underworld or whatever he is. The god of the dead maybe. But you're going through these dungeons. It's kind of like Curse of the Dead Gods, which Kush and I have spoke very highly about. I really like that game. It kind of released near the same time, a little bit later, and that just makes me want to play Hades even more. And it on these other consoles, and if you already have it, not only will you get to play it on Game Pass, but it has cross progression. So
really,
like I even told myself this, I was like, I'm just gonna get it on like Switch or Steam and play it because I know it's gonna come to Xbox, and then like it's been out for I don't know about 9 months at this point, and it like. I just kind of never did it. And now I like wish I did, especially with the cross progression stuff. That would have just been amazing. You could just kind of go right in there and maybe pop some achievements. But I'm just glad it's coming.
I didn't know about the cross progression. That makes that even better. Wow.
I'm almost positive. You can quote me on that. I'm almost positive that's the case. I'm pretty sure that's the case now between PC and Switch. So I don't know why it would be different any other directions.
Makes sense.
Yep. So the next game on the list, because we still have a good bit to go, is called Somerville. Now, this is a 2022 game coming to Game Pass, and it's a sci-fi adventure game, and it has repercussions of large-scale conflicts. Obviously, I'm reading the blurb there. I don't know much about it other than I think some play dead devs are behind it. So that's the inside people, and people kind of said it gave them an inside vibe.
I thought that. I was wondering if this was them.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that I'm not mixing up games here. Unfortunately, I've still yet to play Inside. Sorry.
Oh, come on, man.
But if that interests you, you probably want to look into Somerville. It looks very like eerie, and it's probably going to have a really good narrative experience to it. So I like the way it looks. A lot brighter than I know of Inside to be. I don't think Inside's a bright game, so this one gives you a little bit more color. Not bright necessarily.
This has a lot more color.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting, and I will play it when it comes to Game Pass next year.
See, I love Inside. Great game. And when I was watching this, I went, man, this reminds me a lot about Inside. And I'm like, like I said, I was wondering if it was the same developers, because if it is, I'm absolutely going to check it out because of how much I loved Inside. As soon as I saw this, I went, oh, this is a Nate game. Like, he's going to play it. And I figured you had some interest on the art style, but I didn't know if this was like going to be for sure something you would want to play.
Yeah, like
Game Pass, I'll give it a shot.
I didn't hate what I saw, but at the same time, it didn't get me going like some of the other games. But yeah, I'll play it for sure. I know if that got you excited, I know the next thing, just like your hype level was at its peak here.
Of course.
So they finally showed Halo.
It looks so good.
Not
my God!
Did they show
please
Halo? They told us that it's coming this holiday. No date, but this holiday. They told us that the story and the multiplayer will be delivered together at the same time. They also told us that the multiplayer is going to be 120 frames per second. I guess on the best hardware. And they also told us that the multiplayer part will be free to play. So if you don't even have Game Pass,
such a good idea.
The multiplayer can thrive on the free to play model, and it is a good idea. I do agree with you there.
Yeah, I'm a massive Halo fan. So as soon as I saw this, I've just leaned forward, like trying to take in as much as I possibly can. This is another game where it's like, as soon as it comes out, I'm taking a day off of work and I'm going to play this. More likely than not, I'm going to wind up streaming the campaign because I'm going to play it by myself first. I play all campaigns by myself. Now, something that did get potentially leaked, there was a Xbox Brazil had a tweet go out that might have dropped the release date of this of November 9th. Now, it's not really a for sure thing, but that might be the date of when this is coming out.
It's as good of a guess as any, I would say. Perfect timing right before Thanksgiving. I think even like if they waited a week, or maybe that's even just a few days before like some anniversary of Halo. So
yeah,
very likely.
Yeah, this is the 20th anniversary.
Right.
This is the 20th anniversary of Halo, so like it's coming out this year. There's no way it's getting delayed again, unless something of a monstrous proportion happens again.
The only thing that I can
be released this year
that might compete is that another game we haven't mentioned yet, a big game, comes out on November 9th. So we'll see, but I still like there's a lot of games coming out this holiday. Halo's got to fit in there somewhere, and you know it's whoever competes with it, you know, they'll probably be shaking in their boots a little bit. Now,
oh, for sure.
We know from a year ago almost that Halo did not have a great showing, and then they delayed it.
No.
I will say, I'm not a Halo super fan. I don't even know if I've played every single thing. I have not finished Halo 5. I know that for sure. We were talking in the Discord as this was going on. This game looked really good. It looks
so good.
It looked good. So I think that whatever they're doing well, and I'll be playing it 100%. So
this rightfully had a year delay. It needed it. Like last year, it looked good, but it wasn't that next gen look. Now it's the next gen game. That game is nice.
Well, here we are, 2021. We are less than 6 months away from Halo, the next Halo. Probably the biggest
so excited.
Halo.
It's going to be good. It has to be good. Halo's been on a decline for the past couple of years. It has to be good. And I believe it's going to be good.
I do agree that it has to be good. Bad stuff might happen if it's not, as far as that franchise goes. Speaking of old franchises, they showed Diablo 2 Resurrection. That is coming to console, specifically coming to Xbox on September. I wrote 32 in my notes. I know that that's not a real date. So it's coming in September, probably 3rd or 31st, one of the two of
maybe
this
23rd.
Year. Maybe. It'll be cross-progression, 8-player co-op. I might have played some Diablo 2 at some point in my life, maybe for 20 minutes. So I'm not like super hyped about it. I love the 8-player co-op of it, and I know part of my Friday night group has Kronos, and he is one of the biggest Diablo fans I know. So I have no fear that we will have many people playing this game and offering to carry people and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. And like we said, probably not Game Pass, but still a good get no matter what.
I just looked it up. It is the 23rd.
So there we go. September 23rd, Diablo 2 Resurrection coming to our beloved Xbox.
I've never played Diablo, so I'm excited for all of you that are excited.
And that works out, we can take that. That's a win. Next up, we have a Plague Tale Requiem. Now, this is the second Plague Tale game that I know about. The first one is in Game Pass, and this one will be in Game Pass as well. 2022 is the only thing that we know about it. And all I know, because I have not played the first one, is that it's a really good game. People who've played it loved it.
Yep.
So this is just like another chapter in that book. So I'm happy for those fans.
Yep, I never played it either, but the few people that I've talked to that's played it, they loved it. So I know there's a lot of fans that are super excited when they saw this.
Yep, exactly. Next up is Far Cry 6. So the other game that probably is not going to Game Pass, that is Far Cry 6, Ubisoft game. Now, I don't know, like they had a little trailer for it. I don't think it needed to be there particularly, but marketing rights and whatnot, I guess, is why. They showed this in the Ubisoft Forward. I watched that. It looks like another Far Cry game. Probably be pretty good. The villain looks good, as they always do. But yeah, another Far Cry game is in the works.
I know a lot of people are excited for this too. Same thing. I never played a Far Cry game, so I have nothing to say about this other than it looks like it'll be fun. It looks like a silly, fun game.
Yeah, I seem to play just the main ones. So I've played 3, 4, 5. I will probably play 6, but I've learned my lesson, and I will not be getting it at launch because probably get it for half off in 3 months after. So
100%. Ubisoft games never say at full price.
Nope, never will. Next up is another fan favorite sequel that I have not played, and that is Slime Rancher 2. Now, this is a console launch exclusive coming out next year to Game Pass. Obviously, the sequel to Slime Rancher. Now, when I saw this, I saw the art style before they said what the game was. I said, I'm in. And then I saw a slime, and I saw, a vacuum. Immediately, I knew what it was. And I said I was out. Now, I can't say that I meant that 100%. Because it looks a lot like Island Saver, and people pretty much have said that they're the same games. And you know what? Island Saver it's a fun enough game to relax to, and I can't say that I won't. I did not play Slime Rancher, the first one, like I said. I can't say that I won't play Slime Rancher 2. I can already like see it in my head. Oh, I got access to it, and then they announce when it's leaving Game Pass, and I have 2 weeks, and like, okay, I'll try it out. Not that doesn't say that it looks bad or anything like that. It's just that's how I see
It's
myself.
not your cup of tea.
Like I think it is, but at the same time it isn't. You know?
The art style is your cup of tea, the gameplay is not. I've played a good bit of the first one. I liked it. It's one of those games where it's like I want to go back to it. It's always installed on my Xbox, and it's always like sitting there like, please play me. But I don't know why. I just never went back to it. Like, it's my kind of game. It's like a management game.
Yeah, kind of.
Never played it.
Kind of is. And, well, you'll have a chance to do number 2 next year. What is up next is my cup of tea, and this is a game called
this look good.
Shredders. Not the TMNT Shredder, but the Shredders on the Slopes. Contra launch exclusive. This will come to Game Pass, they think, in December 2021, so this year. And it is a love letter to snowboarding, as the blurb says. And they take inspiration from snowboarding movies, snowboarding celebrities, and they specifically said the Amped games on the original Xbox. And I was all about Amped.
Oh, I missed that part.
It's in the blurb. Before Amped, I was on the Cool Borders train. A little bit of SSX, not as much, but definitely on the Amped stuff. And this looks like a passion project type game that will be coming to Game Pass this year, hopefully. Fingers crossed. It was kind of
a day one play for me.
It was kind of
this looks great.
It was kind of just a cinematic trailer almost. I don't know if any of that was like in-game footage, and I also don't know if it's co-op.
It's not.
Yeah, I hope it is co-op, but even if it's not, I will be playing it. I like those games, even if I don't play them a lot. I want to play them every time I see one. Like I have Steep. I've played Steep a little bit, and I haven't really played it since then. But it's not to say that I always, if I had it right here and I could click play, I probably would play it right now and just give it, 30 minutes or something. I don't know. This one, I'm excited because I haven't seen this snowboarding game in a while. So good to have that.
I'm totally about this game. Snowboarding is my favorite part of the Winter X Games. So I'm all about this. Like I said, definitely playing this day one. Gimme.
All right, moving on. We have Atomic Heart. Now, unless I missed it, I did not see a release date for this one, but it will be day one with Game Pass. And it's an action RPG, first-person shooter. Takes place in the Soviet Union, somewhere in the 1950s. There's robots fighting you. There is weird stuff going on.
This was weird.
It didn't do anything for me personally, but if that's your cup of tea, it kind of reminded me of the game we talked about earlier, kind of like Stalker 2, like in the sense that it's just kind of like some kind of version of post-apocalyptic first-person shooter RPG. Kind of generic for me, but that's coming.
Yeah, I just watched the reveal trailer. There's no release date on it, so this is probably just like a, hey, we're working on this thing kind of a deal. Yeah, didn't really do it for me. It's weird trailer. I need to see more before I get excited for it.
Yeah. You would hope that it's coming soonish, but who knows? Now
that's probably a 2022.
Probably, yeah. I think only one game that we are talking about in a bit is coming out in 2023, so hopefully it's within the next year. Now, the next one is a surprise, and I'm going to call it a sleeper hit before it's even out. It's one that I did not hear of before they showed it, and by golly, it might be my game of show.
I knew it.
It's called Replaced. We don't know a ton about it. It's going to be Game Pass Day 1. Comes out next year. It's being published by CoatSync. And if you have listened to our show for any amount of time, you know that we are big fans of this up-and-coming publisher. They have out right now Cake Bash and Fogs. Both have high praise from our podcast. They are putting out Moonglow Bay and
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
they are, and Get Packed, which is I think it's like a reverse moving out type game. I don't know. Anyways, they put out quality games. Replaced is a 2.5D action platformer. It has pixels and voxels, and the art style is just like I can't even describe it any better than that. I'm not going to say
you.
I'm not going to say it's a Metroidvania, but it's just an action platformer. I'll just leave it at that. I'll be playing it no matter what. It will be coming to PC and Xbox. It is set in a cyberpunkish world. It has combat in it that is fast moving. It's kind of has the free flow combat that the Batman Arkham series has in it. It's got range.
It kind of reminded me of my friend Pedro. Where it's just like that side-scrolling, shooting, jumping kind of a thing, but it's not like that totally. It just kind of reminded me of it.
Sure. I could see where you would say that for sure.
It's not my thing. I know you were excited for it. It's not my thing.
Yeah, it's not yours, but it is 100% mine. I am. I just want it now. Give me Replaced right now. Okay. Moving on to a game that I immediately said in the chat, I will play when they get achievements. And by golly, at the end of their trailer, they said,
that was a great announcement.
Ding dong, bleep bloop. I don't know why I said ding dong, bleep bloop. Hey, we added achievements. This is Grounded. So this is the game
I gotta play this again.
Currently in, I guess it's game preview by Obsidian. Yeah. This is a new update that they're adding quality of life stuff and new stuff to the game, and as well as achievements. And I always said that I'll play it as soon as it gets achievements. And this is a game I want to play with you, Fufu. I think we would have a great time with it.
Hell yes. We're definitely playing this together.
I definitely see us streaming this and playing this. But the update looks good. The achievements, we don't know what they are, but they'll be good. That update's coming on June 20th. So if achievements are out June 20th, that's the day I will install this game. So yeah,
I'm
Grounded,
down.
The Shroom and Doom update.
I played this. Actually, I streamed this, and Fug actually joined me when I streamed it. Whenever it first came out, I can't even remember when it was
a while
first
ago,
released.
maybe September, October.
Yeah, something
maybe.
Like it's been. Actually, I think it's been longer than that. It feels like it's been at least a year. But either way, I streamed it. It's fun. It's a good game, and it's like it. This is actually one of those games where I forgot it actually existed. Like, I remember saying, "Hey, I'm going to go back to that," because when I played it was very, very bare bones, like very much a game preview game. And I know there's been stuff that's been added to it, and like I said, I just kind of forgot that it existed. And as soon as I saw it, and especially now that there's achievements, like, oh yeah, I got to get back into this game because it was fun. And the stuff that that looks like they've added to it just makes the game look even better. Even though there's an even bigger, more terrifying spider.
Exactly. That was what I was about to mention. They added a boss, I guess, and it's this big spider.
Frick, I feel like something's crawling on me.
Well, for you, they added an arachnophobia mode, so you can turn that spider into a blob. Doesn't look much better.
I didn't do that. And there's probably a couple of good clips of me just like... No, I know there's at least one really good clip of me where I turn around and there's a spider in my face, and I about jumped out of my skin. Like, I'm not an arachnophobe. I don't like spiders, obviously. I hate bugs. But, like, I'm not terrified of them. But, dude, when it gets to be nighttime and them spiders come out and they got them glowing, beady red eyes, I defy you to not pee your pants when one of them just jump at you.
Now I definitely want to play this with you.
Oh, my God. I really want to stream this with you. It will be so much fun.
Well, moving right along, something that we will stream. We'll get a bunch of people together.
100% streaming
Among
this.
Us. That will be coming soon. It's already out in PC, but it's coming to console, Xbox specifically soon. Will be Game Pass.
Xbox already.
They're updating the game. They're gonna have 15 player lobbies.
Makes the game so much better.
I can't wait to get some people to go play with that with us. Yeah, it's just more Among Us, and they seem to be making a lot of good moves with it. I saw one podcast and they were doing predictions for E3, and somebody said Among Us 2, and I just thought, you are so dumb. Why? No, that's not happening. They're doing exactly what they need to do with the game, which is update the base game as is. They don't seem to be, trying to make it a cash cow, which I can appreciate, especially for a small team like that.
There's like 4 or 5 people on a team, and they've just made buku dollars because that game exploded last year.
Since it's exploded, but still, that's
a small team.
They're doing good work for as popular as it still is. Even we're almost about a year that it's been like a big boom.
And as soon as it comes to consoles, it's going to explode again, especially because it's coming to Game Pass. Like, that is the perfect game for Game Pass because it's a solely multiplayer game. Get it to as many people as possible, and Game Pass is the way you do it.
Right. And
it's going to have another big boom.
And it'll be cross-play just like all the other versions, so you can play with your family. So they can download on their phone and play with you whenever, for free.
Yep.
So, good on them. All right. Do you know anything about the next 2 games, Fufu? Because I don't.
I was looking at these. I knew you had no idea.
I know they're big fans of them. I do know that.
So, like I said before, I was watching this with Brooke, and when they did the splash screen of the titles, and I went, those games mean something. There's a lot of people who are excited about these. I've never even heard of these. I have absolutely no idea about this.
So, the games we're talking about are, and I'm probably going to botch this, Ayuden Chronicles.
Something like that.
Something Chronicles. 100 Heroes. Now, this is a turn-based JRPG, I think. And it's coming out in 2023. It will be in Game Pass, but it's coming out in 2023, so it's a long ways away. And I'll just read the blurb because it sounds interesting, but it's just not for me personally. But I know a lot of people who are super excited for this. And so this game, 100 Heroes, it is a turn-based strategy game experience to the next level with a fine crafted 6-character battle system. So that sounds cool. It utilizes 2D sprites and 3D backgrounds. Now, I will say that it looked good. I liked the look of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it says it delivers a riveting story and gameplay. And it's supposed to be some kind of modern take on the classic JRPG experience. It also says that you can lead 100 playable characters. That's a lot of characters.
Wow.
That's a lot. I think the blurb here is a little messed up, so I could be mixing these up because it doesn't mention Ayuden Chronicle Rising, which we only got a very, very quick side shot of it. And I can't tell if it's turn-based or not based off literally like the 2 seconds they showed. It's coming next year, 2022, to Game Pass. So I can't say the difference, but 2 Ayuden Chronicle games are coming. And I know some people are big fans.
I imagine this is a big series on the Switch. I knew nothing about it. So, once again, I know there's people that are excited for this, and I'm excited for you. I can't tell you anything about it.
You're a big JRPG turn-based dude. Would you play it?
Yeah. Honestly, I think I will. Like, the announcement trailer, it looks cool. It looks kind of up my alley. The problem with this, there's so many games. And since I don't necessarily know anything about it, it's kind of lower on the list. Like, if all of a sudden I came across a lot of time and was able to play a lot of games, I would definitely check it out. But this one might get lost on me just because of the There's just too many damn games out right now.
Well, yeah, maybe you'll change your mind next year and the year after. We'll see.
Yeah, there might be a new trailer that comes out, changes my mind. But yeah, as of right now, I don't know if I will play this one.
I definitely know you have some stuff coming up. But first is another game for me called The Ascent. Now, we've known about this game for quite some time.
You're interested in this?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, dude, we got to play. We got to play together. I'm so excited for this one.
I'm
this
busy that day.
Awesome. Wow, what a day.
So The Ascent is an isometric co-op shooter. Maybe you call it action adventure game. I'm not 100% sure the exact genre description. But you can play it in solo or co-op, 4 players, I believe. And it's set in the cyberpunk world. It kind of reminded me of the game Ruiner as far as the aesthetics go. And yeah, our 4-player group has already brought it up, so definitely looking forward to trying it out.
All right, never mind.
Hey, I can the Corey love can be spread.
That's gonna be clipped.
You know what? That's fine, because I know that I know the next game is all for you, and I'll go ahead and let you talk about it.
Oh my god, Age of Empires 4. And this only gets better because it is literally coming out on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Quite literally. Happy birthday to me. October 28th, Age of Empires 4. As soon as this game came on, as soon as I heard the music, I got excited. I got goosebumps, the hair stood on the back of my neck. I am beyond excited for this. I am a massive Age of Empires fan. I watched competitive Age of Empires 2. I like the first one. I like the third one. I've played, hundreds and hundreds of hours of Age of Empires 2. Yes, this is 100% another day I'm taking off of work, and I'm just playing this all day long. I'm coming down into the game room, I'm locking the door, and just playing this on the computer. I can't wait. I'm so excited for this. It looks so good. And I know I'm probably the only one on staff for the podcast that is excited for this. Maybe Devin will check it out, but I don't know. I might be the only one that's excited for this.
I mean, I played Age of Empires 2 or 3 back in high school.
You ain't playing this. Yeah, I know you ain't playing this. This isn't your game.
Like, I don't mind these games. I don't think they're bad games. They're a little slow for me, and at this point in time,
I love strategy.
And it's a time commitment. This kind of game is. I also get kind of bored. I think it gets repetitive, and it's just one of those things where I don't know. It gets a little long in the tooth to do the same kind of deal over and over. And each time you win a match, you got to start over and you got to get more resources and train more people.
I love strategy games. Strategy games are totally up my alley. All the Command and Conquers, Red Alert 2 especially, like deep love for those games. Yeah, like I said, October 28th, literally coming out on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Thank you, Xbox. You could not have made that any better.
Now, one thing they showed was a 100 Years War campaign. Do you know anything about that? Is that something that they've done in other games?
Not to my knowledge, or at least not that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, okay, so in Age of Empires, in the single-player campaigns, they take real historical figures like Barbossa, Joan of Arc, a bunch of different ones I'm drawing blank on right now, and they kind of like take you through their historical battles in whatever war that they fought back in the medieval times. The 100 Years' War is a real war between France and Spain, I believe it is, or maybe it was France and Britain. Kind of losing that. So that might just be one of them.
You know what? I'll give you a passing grade on that, because the blurb says the team showcased the 100 Years' War campaign with history icon Joan of Arc. The campaign will allow players to experience this long-fought conflict between England and France. So, good job.
And France, okay.
Pretty close enough.
Yeah. And in Age of Empires 2, the Joan of Arc campaign was by far and away my favorite one. Super, super fun. So, yeah. Once again, I'm so excited for this.
It also is going to have naval combat. Is that a new thing?
No,
I
don't know why that's. I don't know why that's a big blurb. That's been a big thing since. Yeah, all of them have had naval combat. I don't know why that's a thing.
That's what I thought. All right. Well, moving on was probably the greatest teaser of all times, and it happens to be about the Outer Worlds 2. Now, I said they did a good job of not really talking about stuff that's not coming out, but sometimes you just got to tell the people that maybe to stop complaining that stuff is out. And so the Outer Worlds 2 released a trailer in the vein of every major AAA game you've ever seen, from Fable to any first-person shooter, and it has a narrator basically telling you exactly what you see on the screen. And
just go watch the trailer.
Very tongue-in-cheek, and they just said that the only thing that's finished is the name. The Outer Worlds 2 is something that is in the works. So, good job to that team.
Hilarious teaser trailer. Take the 2 minutes, go watch it. It's very, very funny.
Yeah, I agree with that. Give it a watch. Next up,
when did the Outer Worlds come out? I feel like that game just came out. When I saw the Outer Worlds 2, I was kind of surprised.
I want to say it was 2019, and they ported it to like Switch as well, maybe last year, if I recall. I don't know. That's another one that is just like, I know it's going to take me like a good bit of time, but I want to experience it. But at the same time, it feels like it's going to be just like any other game in that vein.
I hear so many good things about it, and like I'm pretty sure I have that one downloaded too. Yeah, and it's like, want to play it, just have it.
One that I don't have downloaded on my PC is Flight Simulator. That has been announced for console. We knew that it would come at some point, and it's finally coming to console July 27th, 2021. So this year, if you have a Series console, you'll be able to experience Flight Simulator. A gorgeous game, but probably definitely appeals to certain people. I know we've all played on Google Maps, Street View, or even Earth View, whatever. You could probably play around with this for an hour or two. Have fun.
See, I have an older computer, and this game, my graphics card would not appreciate, so I don't think I can fully appreciate this game. I very much want to play it. I have a friend that's possibly going to give me a 3060, and when he does, I'm totally playing this game. Yeah, I got a good friend. I like him. I love you, Derek. Thank you. But yeah, like, if I had a beefier computer, I probably would have spent a ton of time in this game already. I'm very much I very much want to play this game. I just don't quite have the computer to be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I could download it. I just know it's like a huge game, and I probably wouldn't put a lot of time into it. Maybe if I had a flight stick, maybe.
This isn't necessarily a new game.
Yeah,
the cool part about this is the Top Gun expansion that's coming.
Yep. So that was the next thing that they did. You started to hear insert Top Gun music song name here, whatever that was, and then you see something
the fighter jets.
Yeah, you see a fighter jet and something. Kush is like already yelling at me. I know.
I've never watched the movie either.
Maverick movie. That's a movie coming out this November, and alongside it will be this free Top Gun Maverick expansion for Microsoft Flight Simulator.
See, being able to be in a fighter jet just makes me want to play this game even more, because that just sounds so cool.
Yeah, I don't think that this is the first you'll see of this kind of crossover, because they say that as they continue, like in vein of it's coming, the game's on consoles now, they'll be continuing to add to the experience with free world updates. Like, they're constantly updating the game, themed DLCs, and true to life aircrafts. So if this game has ever sparked your interest, it is a beautiful game. If you have a Series console, you'll be able to play that soon on that. All right. Next game they showed up, getting close to the very end of this showcase, was a surprise to me. and 2 was probably the most beautiful game I've seen in a very long time, if not the most beautiful. So we're talking about a game. This is probably the most
beautiful.
And this is the one I was talking about before that could compete with Halo because it has a November 9th release date.
I agree.
Coming to Game Pass. It is Forza Horizon 5. Now, I don't think we've gotten a motorsport since Forza Horizon 4, so that's why it surprised me a little bit.
No.
But I'm perfectly fine with this because Horizon appeals to me more. And so this one is set in Mexico this year, this time. And I didn't see seasons, so that's a plus. And what they kind of spent a good chunk of their time on was like the details of the world. So it's very authentic to Mexico and that landscape.
Realistic.
And like, dude, the rocks looked so real. The rocks.
When I was watching it, my jaw was just wide open the entire time. I could not believe what I was watching was a video game.
Right.
Like, it's incredible. It looks so good.
The second part of their time that they showed, they talked about what they called the arcade and events lab. And it's kind of
cool.
like Forza Horizon can get a little, I'll say goofy, but they've always been kind of serious. Well, now they're getting goofier in like the GTA vein.
You're totally right.
One of the modes that they did, like they called it a mini arcade event or something like that. They were dropping piñatas on the ground and you had to run over them and you get points. So I assume that there's going to be other mini games, but then they showed this events lab, which I'm assuming will be just, small timed events, exactly what it says, that they'll just see how they perform and do something with them, maybe with that data. And the one that they showed was like bowling pins. So you're playing bowling with cars, and that just looks super funny and hilarious. And I will be there for it.
That's not how I took that. I took that as you can build your own events, and I was kind of thinking like how you have custom games in Halo. Well, now you're gonna have custom games in Forza.
You know what? I take it back. You're probably right.
I'm all about that. Like, Forza Horizon 4 turned me into a racing fan. Like, I was never really a racing fan. I like kart racers like Crash Team Racing and Mario Kart, but like when it came to racing, I was kind of like, yeah, it's cool. It's just not my cup of tea. I put a ton of time into Forza Horizon 4, well over 100 hours. I love that game, and I know I'm going to do it again. I know I am. The game is so pretty. It looks so good. The GTA type driving events looks like it's just going to be an absolute blast.
Those with a keen eye.
And you said that
also noticed I was going to say those with a keen eye in the trailer noticed that there was an eliminator tab. So eliminator mode makes not a comeback, but it's staying in the game. So I know that was big for a lot of people. What were you going to say?
You said that there was no seasons.
Mm-hmm. That I could tell.
Pardon my ignorance. Does Mexico have like snow? I have no idea. I assume not, since it's so far down south. I see where you're going
with the question. Maybe that's why we didn't see any.
I could be wrong. I have no idea.
I don't know.
But I do remember seeing sandstorms. So there may be seasons-ish?
I don't know.
Not necessarily season, but at least weather events.
Because there was like my least favorite part of Forza Horizon 4. Because they were timed, and they were like real world time, weren't they?
Yeah. It was like every
2 weeks,
either week or 2 weeks. Like it would switch, where it was like it would go through fall, then winter, spring, summer.
Yeah.
I forget how long they last at this point, but yeah, if you didn't like seasons, I understand why. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
This looks like it's not going to have seasons, but it's going to have weather effects. And like having a sandstorm, that sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, and they always do a very good job with their rain. Driving through puddles and stuff.
Yeah.
They're really there, getting wet.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 5, far and away the most beautiful game I've ever seen. And especially like in the trailer, because like they would have a still, and the guy would talk about how like they went on site to take a video of this, and they recreated it, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden you just see the car go by. It's just like, oh wait, this isn't a photograph. This is a video game. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah. And then they moved on to the last game of the showcase.
Oh, man.
They brought Bethesda back on the stage. My man Phil, friend of the podcast, Phil Spencer.
In Phil we trust.
He introduced a brand new IP, and I'm all about brand new IPs. This game
gimme.
is an open world shooter. It's co-op called Redfall. And so Redfall is made by Arcane Austin. That's the people who made Prey and Dishonored. I've already recommended Dishonored before. It's a great game. I know people love Prey as well, so that's good. But you can play this game solo or team up with up to 3 friends. And what do you know it? The bad guys are vampires. And so they've taken over this town, and it's your job to save it. And it very much reminded me of Borderlands. Like, there was clearly the 4 protagonists had they were different like classes of mutants or whatever they were. They each had their own abilities and play styles, and so I'm super psyched to play it. Obviously, it's Game Pass. They are saying summer of next year, and I'm here for it. So I know
and it's
people,
an Xbox exclusive.
Good point. Yeah, that's right. It will be a console exclusive for Xbox. So you don't spend $7.5 billion and do nothing with it.
Yeah. All you stupid people in media.
So yeah.
I feel like a little bit of an idiot watching this, because now that you've just said that blurb in Borderlands, it's so obvious. When I saw this, I was thinking Left 4 Dead, but vampires. But now that you said it, it's like, oh yeah, of course there was classes and then like open world. It's like, oh, of course it's more like a Borderlands than a Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, there wasn't so much like swarming, and they didn't like show.
Yeah,
like they didn't show a lot of loot. So Borderlands is known for their loot, but otherwise, that's the vibes I was getting.
It was definitely more of a like another little teaser trailer. It's like, hey, this is what we're working on. This is coming. I can't wait to see gameplay because it looks cool. And being vampires, I'm all about that. Something different.
Yep. So hopefully we will get to see that next summer. And like I said, Game Pass, I will be there day one for that. And they could not end the showcase. Technically, they ended the showcase there. But if you stuck around after
this might be the best announcement.
After the little like unifying sizzle reel of everything we just saw, they showed a trailer, and it looked like the Series X trailer that they showed a year ago. And I was like, oh, okay, why are they showing that? But then the thing opens up, and what do you know? They said they were going to do it. They did it. Holiday 2021, this holiday, they are having a Microsoft Xbox Series Mini fridge.
I'm 100% buying this thing. I love this so much.
They freaking did it. Now, no other details are really known about it. It looks just like an Xbox Series X, probably to scale.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know what else to really say about it. It's they laughed about it in their own trailer, and they were like, yes, this is really happening.
Like, thank you, Microsoft. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This is amazing. Like, everybody joked about the Series X looking like a mini fridge. Kudos to you for playing along with this and actually creating a mini fridge. Just That's so awesome. And then the tagline to it, Xbox and chill.
Yep.
Perfect.
It says, and
absolutely perfect.
They said it was powered by Xbox Velocity cooling architecture. So it looks great. I kind of want one. Like I'm looking at so it and like my Series X right here, and it's the same thing. You put them side by side, you're not going to know the difference. I mean, sure, you'll probably see a little crease for the door, but otherwise, it's going to be the same thing. And
I think it is to scale because, like, when you look at the trailer, it looks like you can only get like 6 or 8 cans of soda in there.
Yeah. So price unknown, but we will know before the end of the year. So
if they tell me that's like $200, I'm gonna have to like work a ton of overtime or something to find $200 to buy that type of thing, or that'll just be my Christmas gift. Like, I really want one of these things. It's so dumb. It is so dumb, and it's so brilliant at the same time. I'm all about it.
Well, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening to our Xbox E3 2021 roundup. If you are new here and you just happen to find us, we do publish a podcast every week. Like I said, we talk about what we've been playing, new games coming out, news as it relates to us. We have a big community that we shout out and do community contests for, as well as some variety stuff. We stream on Twitch occasionally, and we have a live podcast every month there. You can find us at twitch.tv/AH101. Basically, that and the Discord are what you should know about if you want to find out more about us. Discord.io/AH101. We are a community of like-minded gamers. No kids or memes out there, so we are a mature group that likes to have fun and talk about games and anything else that happens to go on. Also, if this is your first time, we would love it if you would hit the like button or subscribe to whatever podcast service you prefer or you're listening on. We are on all of them pretty much. And yeah, anything to add, Fufu?
It's a good time to be alive if you're a gamer, especially an Xbox gamer.
All right, you heard it from Fufu. It's a good time to be one of us. So with that, I will leave you. And like I said, maybe we'll do another like rest of E3 showcase. Let us know if you want to hear that. Otherwise, we will see you next week for Achievement Hunting 101. Goodbye.